Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of today's podcast. But before we get into today's episode, I want you to make sure you have everything that you need because this episode is going to be a really deep episode. So I'm going to let you grab what you need to grab, get what you need to get. Just do what you need to do. Just get it done, please. And thank you. Before we get into today's topic, because it's pretty deep. It's not even pretty, but it's really deep. So gotta get what you gotta get, do what you gotta do. Like, So, as a junior, as a teen, we all deal with like very serious topics of our lives. And teens, I know it may seem like teens don't really have issues, but I promise you we do, like emotionally, mentally, and dealing with stuff that you would probably not even, dare to understand. But for me, it's my sexuality. Some of you may be able to tell, some of you probably can't, but I am gay. And it took me a while to really understand that about myself. Not really understand, but contemplate with, if that makes sense. If you're black, most likely for those who are black, most likely you have religious parents. It's not everybody does, but most people do. Um, and I'm one of those people. And it's kind of hard to navigate because it's like, with telling them, it's something that you don't know if they'll really be able to understand or accept, which is the scary part of it all. But with parents being taught in such a strong method of like believing that that type of lifestyle is a sin, I wouldn't say that your sexual preference is a sin. How you live your lifestyle in that preference is a sin, if that makes sense. Like the actions of what you do. I don't know how to explain this in a way that makes sense. Like, I wouldn't say being gay is a sin. I would say that what you do as is a sin. Like, for example, just having any type of intercourse with everybody. That's not in a good manner. It's just not good at all. Things in that such of sort. But most people, just being that way altogether is a sin, which it can be hard to deal with, and it definitely is hard for me to deal with and understand. And it is like with being a teen on top of that. The first person that I told was my best friend and my best friend slash sister Kayla Smith, babe. She was the first one. And one thing about me and my best friend is that she knows me, I know her. She already knew. And it's not because of the way I act, she just knew. It's something that, you know, when you had a relationship, you knew, like, you know. And she knew. And it made things easier, and it made our relationship even stronger, like, as friends and stuff like that. And so it was a very it was it was a lot to contemplate. I know a lot of people say like how you know why do it's not about how and why. It's more so of just knowing. Like it's like I promise you, if you are like gay, lesbian, or I don't know how it works for bisexual people, but like or like things of those sorts, you know, like you just know who you are. It's something that you're I like this is something your sexuality is something that's determined before you're even born, you know? Well, let me make sure. Because as far as I've known, you know, yeah, it's been said that basically sexuality is something that you're born, it's something that's done before you're born or determined before you're born, which is how I feel. I don't feel like it's something that's been influenced um or been like I don't feel like it's something that's been influenced or anything of that sort. I feel like that's something that's been determined before I was even born. And so, like I said, for most people, it's hard to understand and it's hard to talk about because to those, some can't handle it. And for those, the topic is just unsettling. And like I said, every teen doesn't have it easy as far as for having accepting people or stuff like that. And I think that's what people don't realize. Like, you got to realize one thing about, you know, one thing about um parents, especially black parents, they're set on core beliefs and they were raised in strict teachings and manners, and so they believe their beliefs on certain things. Like one thing I can say, it was a line on legacy, and this line fits this so well. The line was, religious people aren't too flexible about their beliefs. When I tell you that's the truth, it is so true. That line from Legacies when Raphael told Landon, religious people aren't too flexible about their beliefs. He ain't lying. He is not lying at all because they're not. Like, they're just not, unfortunately. And like I said, I'm not gonna spend my life trying to convince or trying to tell or trying to I don't have time. No, I don't have time. I don't have energy. I don't have patience. No, I don't have time for all of that. It's either you believe or you don't, and or you deal with it or you don't. And I know that sounds bad. I don't sound like a bad person, but that's just how I am. Like it's either you just believe it or you don't. You don't have to believe it. I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna force you to believe it because you don't have to. You don't have to believe it. But like I said, you can believe it or you don't. You don't have to. It's your choice. I really don't care, to be for real. It's at the end of the day, it's my life, and I think that's what also people have to forget. Like it's your life. What you decide to do with your life is your choice, you know. And so can't nobody really judge you when at the end of the day or tell you anything about you when at the end of the day it's your life, like so it's a very annoying topic. Like it really is. It's a very annoying topic altogether to deal with. But it's a part of life, and at the end of the day, like I already made it clear, like I don't kiss butt. I'm not gonna try to persuade or anything like that. I don't have time. Like I said, you don't have to believe, you don't have to change, like you don't have to do none of that. Like, but at the end of the day, I don't definitely don't do the disrespect. I don't know. I don't do the disrespect. Disrespect ain't gonna work over here. Cause I definitely don't do that. But at the end of the day, it's like who you are is who you are. Can nobody change? Can nobody change that? You know, who you are is who you are. And you should don't even try to change yourself because of the words of others. Like people will always talk. That's just a part of life, unfortunately. It's just a part of life. People will talk and people will say what they have to say, but at the end of the day, you are who you are. And there's nothing anybody can do to change that. And just let that set the record straight on your identity. Let those know who don't know. Let them know who you are and let it be known. But yeah, thank you guys for listening in because this was a really important discussion that I wanted to talk to all of you about. Just want to say I love you guys. You guys are very amazing and you guys are always supportive, of course. I just love you guys so much and you guys are the best. I love talking to you guys, obviously. I know y'all can tell that, by the way. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And yeah, it just feels good letting you guys know this. But thank you guys for listening in. And just be nice. Don't be rude. Don't be mean. Be kind to those around you. Be respectful as well. I definitely try my best to be respectful and be nice. It can be hard sometimes, but I still try. But yeah, thank you guys for listening in. And yeah, bye bye, guys.